Mara Kincaid shoved open the throne room doors. The heavy panels slammed against iridescent walls carved from living crystal. Queen Salith rose from her throne, her forearms spreading wide. Bioluminescent veins pulsed along her azure skin. Human warrior, name your reward. A kingdom awaits the one who returns my daughter. Mara halted 10 paces in. She scanned the chamber. Guards in ornate armor, hovering data orbs. No threats. Timestamp on the last verified signal ping from Princess Iriel's implant. Silence gripped the room. Salith's golden eyes narrowed. Captain Doran Vale, her security commander, shifted at her side, his scaled hand twitching toward his sidearm. The ping, Mara repeated. She planted her feet. No smile, no bow. Salith signaled a data orb. It floated forward, projecting a holographic timeline. 14 hours ago. Coordinates here. A star map bloomed, marking a derelict station in the Nebula Veil. Mara committed it to memory. She tapped her wristcom, syncing the data. Kidnappers. Broker Kith's syndicate, Vale growled. His voice rasped like grinding gravel. Black market scum. They hit the royal shuttle mid-transit. Salith leaned forward. I offer fleets, my finest escorts. No. Mara cut her off. Escorts scream royal. They'll bolt or detonate the princess. I go solo, with one of yours. Vale bristled. You question Varen resolve? Mara met his gaze. I question numbers. Pick your best. They ride shotgun. Salith's mandibles clicked. She conferred with advisors in rapid clicks. Varen tongue, untranslated. Finally she nodded. Captain Vale commands my guard.
He judges you.
Vale stepped forward. His bulk dwarfed Mara. Armored plates gleaming under the throne's glow. Prove it, human. Mara jerked her thumb at the doors. Briefing chamber, now. They marched to the adjacent security vault. Hollow screens lined the walls, replaying the kidnapping footage on loop. Mara slid into the command chair. Vale loomed behind her. Play it from shuttle breach. Mara synced her gauntlet to the console. The hollow sprang to life. Broker Keth's raiders, cloaked in shadow armor, breached the shuttle's hull. Laser fire danced. Guards fell. A small figure darted. Princess Iriel, no older than 10 cycles, her tiny form glowing with panic lights. Keth himself appeared, a squat insectoid with twitching antennae. He snatched Iriel, jamming a suppressor on her implant. His crew dragged her to a waiting corvette. Mara paused the feed. She traced a finger through the hollow. Mistake 1. They vented the shuttle bay without sealing it first. Residual Atmo trails mark their entry vector. Vale grunted. We saw that. Stakes 2. Mara advanced the footage. Keth's corvette powered up sloppy, exhaust flares uneven, engine imbalance. Port thrusters miscalibrated. The limpet sublight in the nebula's gravity wells. Vale leaned in. His eyes widened fractionally. How did your scans catch that? Human eyes see heat blooms. Mara shrugged. Yours focus on the princess. She scrubbed forward. Iriel kicked free for a split second, clawing at Keth's face. He backhanded her. Lightly. Mara noted. No kill intent yet. Mistake 3. Mara froze on Keth's belt. A blinking auction fob. He's live streaming bids. Black market feed. I triangulate from there. We pin their exact berth on the station. Vale crossed his arms. Impressive. But the Nebula Veil shreds sensors, cloaks everything. Mara stood. Not human-grade ones. We slip in quiet. Hit their berth before bids close. Extract and exfil. Salith entered then, flanked by 2 guards. Her presence filled the vault. You map their errors like a predator scents blood. Training. Mara faced her. I swear this. I bring Iriel back alive, or I don't return. The queen's veins dimmed, a Varen sign of tension. And if you fail, won't. Mara held her stare, but authorize unrestricted rules. Lethal force, no negotiations. No quarter for Keth's crew. Vale tensed. That violates Accord protocols. Salith silenced him with a raised arm. The Accord bends for my blood. She extended a datapad. Sign. Full proxy. Mara thumbed the pad. Green light confirmed. Unrestricted. Her rules now. Salith's gaze softened. Why you, human, others pledged worlds. You ask only data. Mara holstered the pad. Talks cheap. Results buy trust. Vale snorted. Bold for a soft skin. Pack light. Mara headed for the armory hatch. We launch in 30. In the armory, Mara stripped her fatigues. She donned her void suit, matte black, self-sealing, layered with kinetic weave. Human tech, compact, reliable. She slotted her pulse rifle, variable yield, whisper quiet on low. Sidearm next, monomolecular blade sheathed at her thigh. Vale entered, hauling a Varen pulsecaster, bigger caliber, but bulkier. He eyed her gear. No shields? No phase cloak? Stealths in the steps. Mara chambered around. Click. Shields ping scanners. We ghost in. He hefted his caster. Vayrans shield our royals with honor. Honor's great. Mara sealed her helmet. HUD bloomed. Vitals green, nebula map overlaid. Bullets win extractions. They boarded Mara's scout ship, the Raven's Claw. Human design, needle-nosed, stealth-coated, ion drives humming silent. Vale strapped into the co-pilot seat. His frame cramped the cockpit. Ship small, he rumbled. Fits tight spots. Mara punched the launch sequence. Thrusters ignited. Veyra Prime shrank in the rear sensors. The nebula veil loomed, a swirling mass of gas clouds and debris, hostile to everything but the bold. Mara vectored toward the derelict station's ping. Auction feed live? Vale synced his console. A ShadowNet browser flickered. Bidder icons pulsed. 57 active. Starting bid. 2 sectors worth of helium. 3. Keth's greedy. Mara adjusted course, skirting a plasma eddy. Her HUD flagged turbulence routine. Ping the princess's implant suppressor. Weakest link. Vale complied. A faint blip returned. Bearing confirmed. Berth 17C. Mara nodded. Competence registered in Vale's posture now. Shoulders eased. Grip firm on his caster. Hours blurred. Nebula storms buffeted the hull. Mara danced the claw through shear zones, human reflexes threading the needle. Vale gripped his harness, mandibles clenched. You fly like no Veyran, he admitted. Drilled it. Mara didn't elaborate. Action spoke. Station grew on sensors, a gutted orbital husk, crawling with syndicate scum. Docking clamps, engaged silent. Airlock cycled. They breached the berth corridor. Mara led. Rifle low. Dim red lights flickered. Air stank of ozone and unwashed hides. Footsteps ahead. 2 sentries chatting in guttural trade speak. Mara signaled. Drop. She squeezed the trigger. Silenced rounds punched through helmets. Bodies slumped. Veil covered the rear. Clean. Stay sharp. Mara sliced the berth door. Sparks flew. Inside, Broker Keth hunched over a console. Antennae waiting at bitter hollow feeds. Crates of contraband stacked high. Princess Iriel huddled in a force cage, eyes wide but alert. No tears. She watched them enter. Keth spun. Intruders! Alert! Mara's round took his knee. He crumpled, screeching. Veil charged, caster roaring. 2 crewmen vaporized. Iriel pressed against the cage bars. Human? Mother sent you? Mara sliced the lock. Field dropped. Staff Sergeant Kincaid. We're leaving. The girl bolted to. The girl bolted to Vale, mandibles trembling as she buried her face in his armored chest plate. Vale scooped her up one-handed, caster sweeping the room. Princess secure. Mara knelt by Keth. He clutched his ruined knee, antennae thrashing. Blood pooled black under dim lights. She zip-tied his wrists, then pressed her rifle muzzle to his temple. Transmission codes. Now. Keth hissed through pain. Syndicate wipes you all. Princess fetches billions. Her trigger finger tightened. Silenced round ended it. Body slumped. Iriel peeked from Vale's shoulder. Her iridescent eyes locked on Mara. Sharp. Weighing. No scream. No collapse. Royal steel. Move, Mara said. She let out the sliced door, rifle low. Berth corridor stretched dim. Red emergency strips pulsing. Air recyclers whined distant. Vale followed. Iriel clutched tight. Clear rear. Footfalls echoed ahead. More crew. Mara dropped to a knee. Signaled. 3 smugglers rounded the bend. Blasters up. Her rounds cracked first. Headshots. Clean drops. Vale's caster hummed twice, vaporizing the last. Iriel didn't flinch. You shoot straight. Trained. Mara rose. Swept forward. No time for chatter. Docking clamps groaned under them. Station settling? Sensors pinged on her wrist comp. Power surges. They hit the main spine corridor. Gutted panels sparked. Ozone bit the air. Mara sliced a sealed bulkhead with her plasma torch. Metal glowed cherry red. Parted. Beyond, abandoned relay dock, a cavernous husk of twisted girders and frozen conduits. Syndicate tags scarred the walls. Fresh. Shortcut, Mara said. Their bolt hole. Vale grunted approval, mandibles clicking. How'd you map it? Tracks. She slapped silent beacons on scuff marks, boot prints in dust, leading deeper. Kidnapper route, prepped for evac. Ariel twisted to watch, her small claws gripping Bale's pauldron. Hull shuddered. Lights died. Total black. Ariel gasped. Bale's bioluminescent markings glowed faint blue. Power kill. Trap? Mara flicked her tack light on, beam slicing void. Routine. Deeper anyway. She stepped through the cut bulkhead, rifle tracking shadows. Station creaked like old bones. Vale hesitated a beat, then followed. Human night vision? Practice. Her beam caught motion. Automated drone, whirring from a vent. She snapped a shot. It sparked and dropped. Ariel's eyes widened, fixed on Mara's steady grip. Relay dock sprawled. Derelict comm arrays, cargo pods fused in forgotten blasts. Syndicate wiring snaked floors, jury-rigged power taps. Mara tagged more prints, her wrist comp pinging sync. Trackers live. Klaxon wailed sudden, distant, muffled. Red strobes kicked in, strobing erratic. Airlocks hissed somewhere ahead. Ambush vector, Vale said. He set Ariel down gentle. Stay behind me, Highness. The girl shook her head, claws flexed. I see. Like mother. Mara pressed on. Goal. Outer exfil hatch. Claw docked there. Conflict brewed in the echoes. They hit a junction. Sealed airlock ahead, smuggler's glyphs warning. Mara scanned. Pressure tripwires, laser grids humming faint. Booby-trapped nasty. Cover, she told Vale. Torch out. She traced wires. Snipped one click. Grid powered down. Second wire pulsed hot. She yanked the bypass. Airlock hissed open a crack. Explosive decompression? No. Gas vented instead. Knockout chem. Mara shoved Vale through first. Ariel in his arms. Go. Vale tumbled clear. Cast her up. Mara rolled after, sealing it manual. Chem cloud bloomed harmless behind. Vale hauled her up. Mandibles parted in alien grin. You first next time? Outcomes matter. Mara dusted off. Ariel stared up. Testing. You pushed him. Safe. Team. Mara swept forward. Dock narrowed to a gantry over void. Stars wheeled through cracked viewports. Hull breach alarms blared. Wrist comp chirped. Burst transmission intercepted. Smuggler's freak. Piggybacked from Keth's console. Princess secured? Relay evac in 10. Refuel at Gamma, 9 drift. Mara locked cords. Got their next stop. Claw plots it. Bale's eyes gleamed. You hacked mid-fight? List item. She led across gantry. Vibrations worsened. Station tearing? Shouts echoed. Flashlights bobbed from side passages. 6 smugglers, blasters spitting plasma. Mara dove behind a pod. Suppressive! Vale roared, caster bolts lancing blue fire. 2 smugglers atomized. Ariel crouched low, ears flat, but tracked shots, learning patterns. Mara popped up, ticked targets. Chest. Throat. Drop. 3 down. Last pair flanked. Flank left! Vale yelled. Mara rolled right instead, under gantry rail. Her rifle barked up, legs severed. Bale finished them. Silence fell, broken by groans. Gantry buckled. Run! Mara sprinted. Vale scooped Ariel again. They pounded for exfil hatch. Hatch cycled. Claw's airlock beacon pulsing. Docking tube flexed as station listed. Inside Claw, Mara punched on dock. Station receded, sparks blooming from its husk. Nebula loomed ahead, storms churning violet. Mara strapped in, hands dancing controls. Hold tight. Vale secured Ariel beside him. The girl leaned forward, watching Mara's fingers blur, faster than Bayron pilots. Drilled. Sheer winds hit. Claw buck. Mara threaded gaps. Human reflexes turning chaos to path. Vale gripped harness, mandibles clenched. Then eased. Impossible odds. Routine for you. Ariel nodded, slow. You walked dark. Tagged paths. Saved us. Her claw touched Mara's arm, tentative, trust testing. Mara met her eyes, nodded once. Hours blurred. Storms battered. Gamma. Alice. 9 drift sharpened on scopes. Smugglers refuel. Broker Ket's backup crew waiting blind. Mara armed missiles. We end it. Vale powered his caster. Together. Iriel straightened. For Mother. Claw dove. Queen Salus fleet waited at rally point. Veyron cruisers, regal prows gleaming. Mara docked claw seamless. Airlock cycled. Sailot waited in bay, poised in flowing robes. Crown frills erect. Authority radiated. But her eyes cracked at Iriel's sight, raw relief. The girl ran to her, embraced. Mother, human saved me. Walked the dark station. Sailith rose, turned to Mara, voice steady, but claws trembled faint. Staff Sergeant Kincaid. Name your boon. Mara shouldered rifle. Safe delivery. Done. Vale stepped up. She cut bulkheads, disarmed death traps, intercepted their flight. Humans. Measure by deeds. Salith's gaze weighed Mara, then softened. Deeds bind. Vera owes you loyalty. Iriel tugged Mara's sleeve. Stay? Teach dark walking? Mira knelt to her level. Next mission. Earned. The girl beamed, bond sealed. But wristcom pinged. Syndicate retaliation vector inbound. Hostile space stirred. Plot course. We fly. Mara's stunner cracked twice. Blue arcs lit the refuel platform's gloom. 2 Veyron guards slumped, claws twitching in non-lethal paralysis. She pivoted low, rifle sweeping stacked cargo crates. Broker Ket's black market den reeked of ion fuel and rust. Wrist comp beeped. Target crate 10 meters ahead. Heat signature pulsing weak but alive. Footsteps scraped behind her. Mara spun. Broker Keth lunged from shadows, vibroknife gleaming. His multifaceted eyes widened at the human speed. She sidestepped. Elbow cracked his wrist. Knife clattered. Mara drove boot into his knee. Keth howled, collapsing. She zip-tied his limbs, stuffed a gag in his maw. One stun round to the torso silenced him. Stay down, broker. Witnesses erased. Not today. Cratelock yielded to her plasma torch. Hiss of seals breaking. Lid flipped back. The cargo blinked. Violet eyes, wide and sharp, locked on Mara's faceplate. Tiny chest heaved, breathing ragged under bruised frills. A clawed hand shot out, grabbed Mara's sleeve. Trembled but held firm. Princess Iriel, 6 years old, Veyron royalty crated like scrap. Mara scanned her. No brakes, dehydrated, scared. Princess. Staff Sergeant Mara Kincaid. Extraction team. Your mother's waiting. Iriel's claws tightened. Voice piped small but steady. Human, prove. Mara unclipped her vest harness. Reinforced straps dangled open. She reached in. Arms up. We move now. The girl hesitated, tested, then complied. Mara lifted her light frame, slotted her into the harness against armored chest plate. Straps clicked secure. Iriel's head tucked under Mara's chin, frills brushing her neck. Safe. My heartbeat covers yours. Iriel shifted, peered up through visor. Dark walker. Mother said human's ghost. Alarms whooped distant. Keth's guards stirring. Mara bolted for the shuttle bay. Crates blurred past. She shouldered through a side hatch. Smuggler's shuttle squatted there, engines idling hot. Claw class, fast and dirty. Mara slapped the ramp control. Hack pad lit under her gauntlet spike. Iriel whispered hot against her collar. They come! 4 guards burst from a gantry. Blasters spat red bolts. Mara dove behind a fuel drum. Bolts scorched metal. Quiet holds.
Mara popped stunner. 3 shots.
3 down. Last guard charged. She rolled, swept his legs. Zip tie snapped. Hack complete. Ramp whined open. Mara sprinted up, sealed it. Strapped into pilot chair, Iriel still harnessed front. Rule 1. Mara keyed engines. Thrusters roared. My lead. No sound unless I say. Repeat. Iriel's eyes met hers. Claw tapped console deliberate. Lead. No sound. Good. Mara punched launch. Shuttle lurched free before platform alarms peaked. Stars wheeled. Gamma, 9 asteroid field loomed ahead. Hostile drift. Smuggler patrols thick. Pursuit pinged scopes. 2 interceptors. Keth's backup. Mara banked hard. Hold tight, princess. Iriel gripped harness. No whimper. Watched screens flicker. You fly blind trust? Checklists and scopes. Mara armed point defense. Interceptor locked missiles. She jinked. Countermeasures bloomed. Missiles veered into rocks. First interceptor shredded on asteroid spine. Second closed. Cannons hot. Mara looped through debris cloud. Hull shuddered under grazes. Damage? Iriel's voice steady. Claws flexed. Testing Mara's calm.
Minor. Routine.
Mara flipped shuttle inverted. Locked weapons. Missiles away. Interceptor bloomed fire. Wreckage spun silent. Field cleared. Mara plotted rally vector. Bayron fleet waited beyond. Hours to go. Rest. Iriel didn't. Propped chin on harness strap. Watched Mara tweak shields against radiation spikes. Why non-kill?
Guards, broker. Rules of engagement.
Witnesses live to testify. Mara glanced down. Your mother's justice, not mine. Claw touched Mara's gauntlet. Tentative press. Trust. You pass. Hours blurred. Ion storms battered hull. Lightning forked outside viewports. Mara rode turbulent smooth. Checklists ticking mental. Iriel piped questions. Dark station. How tag paths. Thermal ghosts. Echolocators. Mara demoed wrist comp holo. Girl leaned in, frills perking. Absorbed fast. Gamma. 9 drift sharpened on scopes. Broker Keth's backup crew waited blind at the refuel node. Patrol signatures clustered. Mara armed forward missiles.
We end it.
No response from harness. Iriel straightened. For mother. Shuttle dove. Mara fired. Refuel platform erupted in chain fireballs. Patrols scattered. Blind in the blast. Clean. Mara pulled up. Vectors clear. Iriel's claw tapped Mara's arm again. Firmer. Impossible odds. Routine for you. Mara nodded once. No words needed. Queen Salith's fleet gleamed ahead. Veyron cruisers. Regal prows cutting void. Mara hailed. Claw inbound. Package secure. Dock seamless. Airlock cycled. Mara unharnessed Iriel. Girl dropped light. Clung brief. Bay doors parted. Queen Salith waited. Poised in flowing robes. Crown frills erect. Authority radiated like gravity. Eyes cracked raw at Iriel's sight. Daughter ran. Embraced fierce. Mother.
Human saved me. Walked the dark station.
Salith rose slow. Turned to Mara. Claws trembled faint under poise. Staff Sergeant Kincaid. Name your boon. Mara shouldered stunner rifle. Safe delivery. Done. Footsteps echoed. Captain Doran Vale limped in. Salith's security chief, arm bandaged from his own capture. Skeptical eyes weighed Mara. She cut bulkheads on that station. Disarmed my trap rigs when Keth had me chained. Intercepted their flight path here. Humans. Measure by deeds. Salith's gaze lingered. Softened. Deeds bind. Vera owes you loyalty. Iriel tugged Mara's sleeve. Insistent. Stay.
Teach dark walking?
Mara knelt to eye level. Met violet stare. Next mission. Burned. Girl beamed. Bond sealed in that grin. Wristcom pinged sharp. Syndicate retaliation vector inbound. Dozens strong. Hostile space stirred alive. Mara straightened. Plot course. We fly. Mara's fingers stabbed the undock override. Seals hissed violent release. The claw shuttle lurched free from Queen Salith's cruiser. Veyron hulls flashing past viewports as the bay doors yawned wide. Contact! Doran barked from the co-pilot seat. His bandaged arm braced the console. Syndicate cruiser. Broker Keth's mark on the prow. Heavy guns hot. Mara's stopwatch app ticked live on her wrist comp. 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 1 second. 3-leg vector. Leg 1. Skim the fleet's outer picket. No direct jump lane. They'll bottleneck us. Iriel strapped tight in the jump seat behind her, violet eyes wide but steady. Queen Salith's image flickered on the comms relay. Her crown frills rigid. Sergeant Kincaid, my fleet screens you. Fly true, acknowledged. Mara banked hard. Thrusters flaring blue. Veyron escorts parted like schooling fish, lasers stitching void toward the incoming cruiser. Keth's ship loomed, blocky, scarred, railguns charging glow. Dahuran plotted decoy bursts. Humans evade like this. No poetry, just math. Routine checklist. Mara refused the obvious jump lane, pulsing green on Nav 2 exposed. Her route snaked through the fleet's debris wake instead. Scrap from old skirmishes. Perfect chaff. Stopwatch, 0 hours, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Alarms shrieked. Coolant loop redlined, temp spiking coreward. Shuttle shuddered. Engines coughing vapor. Loop breach, Mara snapped. She yanked a field sealant canister from under her seat, grabbed scrap tubing from the maintenance hatch. No time for dockside fixes. Hold course, Captain. De Hroon's claws flexed. Veyran seals take minutes. You'll... She sliced tubing with her vibroknife. One clean stroke. Jammed it into the fractured line. Foam sealant hissed out, hardening fast under pressure. Twisted clamps, tight by hand. Vents cleared. Temps dropped green. Whole patch. 20 seconds. Iriel whistled low. Alien trill of awe. Dark walker magic. Field improv. Mara slid back to controls. Thrusters stabilized. They ghosted into the debris wake. Cruiser fire lancing wide. Stopwatch. 0 hours, 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Pursuers closed. Keth's cruiser micro-jumped, cutting the angle. Mara anticipated. Leg 2. Incoming. Iriel. Drill time. The girl leaned forward, claws gripping harness. Ready. Emergency signal 1. 3 short bursts. Nav lights.
Means alley inbound. Repeat.
3 short. Alley inbound. Iriel mimicked, tiny claws flashing mock signals. Good. Signal 2. Long pulse, then stutter. Pursuit hot. Evade.
Go! Long stutter.
Pursuit hot. Her voice sharpened, mimicking Mara's calm. De Hroon fired decoy drones from the aft tube. Veyran tech, cloaked flares to mimic drive signatures. My lures draw them. Your drills? Trust is action-tested. Mara glanced back. Iriel's frills perked, absorbing. Bond tightened in those reps, girl proving sharp. Cruiser bit the decoys. Explosions bloomed silent on scopes. But Keth adjusted. Secondary locks painted the claw. Leg 2, micro-jump bait. Mara fed false telemetry, juicing the nav beacon to scream prime vector. Pursuers lunged, engines blooming hot. She cut real thrust. Slammed manual override. Shuttle whipped into overshoot path. Cruiser micro-jumped blind, momentum carrying them past. Mara rolled hard, diving into the debris shadow. Wreckage hulks blotted sensors, perfect veil. Stopwatch, 0 hours, 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Iriel gripped Mara's seat. They missed. You tricked the big ship. Physics, not tricks. Mara wove through twisted girders, Veyran alloy scraping hull faint. De Hroon's scopes pinged clean, no tails. Queen Salith's comms crackled. Claw, status. Fleet holds the line, but Keth demands ransom broadcast. Incident bruise. Vector secure. Leg 3. Blind relay through the shadow. Mara plotted final leg. Uncharted microgate in the debris. Human scouted on prior ops. No Veyran maps marked it. Princess drilled and ready. Your chief's decoys bought window. Salith's voice softened. Rare crack. You shield my blood as your own. Veyra remembers. De Hroon grunted approval. Eyes on Mara, not skepticism now. Respect carved deep. Deeds stack. Humans turn void to armor. Iriel tugged Mara's sleeve. Voice small but fierce. Taught me signals. Trust you, all way. Mara nodded once. Firm. Earn both ways, kid. Hand brushed claw brief. Promise sealed. Debris thinned. Gate loomed. Warp coils humming charge. But scopes lit fresh. Keth's corvettes peeled off cruiser, fanning hunt patterns. Broker's voice hacked open channel, oily rasp. Kincaid bitch. Princess fetches triple now. Surrender or we glass the shadow. Mara killed comms. Leg 3 engages. She punched the gate. Reality folded. Warp shear bucked them. Exit spat into neutral drift. Veyran rally point, light minutes off. But scope screamed. Corvettes matched the jump. Keth's cruiser realigning macro burn. Stopwatch reset. 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. New timer for intercept. De Hroon braced.
They predict us. Not yet.
Mara scanned rally vectors. One fat corvette drifted lazy patrol. Blind spot. Board and flip it. Your move, Captain? His claws snapped salute. Ours now. Together. Iriel signaled perfect. 3 shorts. Alley inbound. Mara grinned faint. Fleet swelled on scopes, but Keth closed fast. Guns live. 1 Corvette salvo could spark the war. Torches hissed against the shuttle's outer hull. Grapples locked with a shuddering clang. Mara surged forward, rifle leveled. She planted herself dead center in the cabin, between the breaching hatch and the knot of Virons behind her. Iriel's wide eyes locked on her from the bulkhead shadows. Daroon's claws flexed on his pistol, but Mara shot him a flat look. Stay. He held. The hatch warped. Veyron alloy screamed under plasma cutters. Orange glow bloomed through stress fractures. Kincaid. Daroon growled low. They numbered 12. Armed heavy. Routine, Mara said. Her voice stayed level. Checklist calm. She flicked her rifle's safety off. Iriel, with me. Now. The princess darted forward, small frame weaving under Mara's arm. Her frilled crest quivered, but her steps stayed sure. Sharp kid, observed everything, mimicked fast. Mara yanked open the maintenance panel beside the cockpit bulkhead. A tight crawl space yawned, conduit bundles framing a hide just wide enough for Veyron child size. In, curl tight. Iriel hesitated, 1 beat, claws testing the edge. Her gaze flicked to the glowing hatch. Trust test. Mara knelt, voice steel soft. You signal, I come. Single call. She slapped a thumb-sized beacon into the princess's palm. Emergency ping. Direct to Mara's HUD. 1 squeeze, untraceable. Iriel snatched it. Claws clicked salute. 3 shorts, their code for ready. She wriggled in. Eyes fierce, all way. Panel snapped shut. Mara rose smooth, rifle sweeping the cabin. Queen Salith pressed against the rear wall, poise cracking at the edges, but silent. Dahoran covered the side hatch, skepticism burned away by prior deeds. Hull bucked. Cutters finished their work. The hatch exploded inward. Raider leader tumbled through first, armored hulk in Keth's black market leathers, vibro axe revving. 5 more piled behind. Pulse rifles, spitting fire. Mara fired first. Control burst. 2-round center mass. Leader's chest plate cracked. He staggered but charged. She sidestepped, boots gripping deck grating. 3rd round punched his knee. He dropped howling, axe skittering. Raiders poured fire. Bolts scorched bulkhead inches from Mara's shoulder. She rolled low, came up firing. Raider 2 took a burst to the visor. Down. 3 clipped her pauldron. Pain flared hot, ignored. Flank left. Raider shouts barked in gutter trade. Mara anticipated. She snap-fired around the hatch frame. Controlled bursts, 1 to suppress, 1 to drop. Raider 4 slumped, rifle clattering. 5 lunged over his body. Too eager. Mara drove her stock into his throat, followed with a point-blank shot. 6 broke for the corridor. She pursued. Corridor narrowed ahead, emergency lights pulsing red. Raider 6 spun, spraying wild. Mara duck-walked under, rose inside his guard, elbow to jaw, rifle butt to temple. He crumpled alive, pinned under her boot. More boots thundered from the Raider deck ahead. Mara keyed her collar mic.
Do run. Cabin clear.
Hold Veyron's back. Affirm, he rumbled. Queen demands your blood price. Not yet. Mara zip-tied the pinned Raider's wrists. Leader second, tattoo screaming Keth's crew. She hauled him up one-handed, rifle muzzle kissing his frill. Open channel to broker Keth. Wideband, now. He spat blood, eyes wild. Keth glasses you. Mara thumbed his comms gauntlet. Static hissed open. She patched her suit recorder. Full log, time-stamped, irrefutable. Broker Keth, she said, voice carrying cold across the hack. Staff Sergeant Mara Kincaid. Terran extraction. Respond. Laughter crackled back, oily and remote. Keth's Corvette loomed on external scopes. Grapples still locked. Kincaid, bitch. You breach my runner? Princess triple price now. Surrender her, maybe I vent your meat slow. Mara pressed harder on the Raider's frill. He gurgled. Ownership claim broker. On record. You latched this shuttle. Cut the hatch. Veyron royals hear every word. Pause. Then Keth's rasp sharpened. Mine by right of take. Iriel's crest fetches empires. Witnesses die. You first. Logged. Mara killed the channel. Raider leader bucked under her boot. She stunned him silent. Evidence sealed. Keth's own voice. claiming the princess like cargo. Interstellar incident averted. One transmission to Veyron command. Alarms wailed, grapples groaned, Keth's corvette yanking hard, trying to rip them free. Dorun, Mara barked. Cycle airlock, we board them. Claws scraped deck as he moved. Queen Salith stepped forward, eyes locked on Mara, poise rebuilt, gratitude etched deep. Human, you turn breach to blade. Checklist, Mara said, clipping breaching charges to her harness. She signaled Iriel's hide. 2 longs. Stay dark. Princess's claw tapped back. Understood. Doran cracked the side airlock. Vacuum howled brief. Mara magnet locked her boots, leaned into the void gap. Keth's corvette hull sprawled close. Ugly patchwork. Raider hatches blinking. Captain? Mara said, your clan breaches best. Lead vector. He grinned, fangs. Skepticism forged to alliance. Humans hold strange. Veyron's cut true. He slapped a plasma torch to the corvette's skin. Veyron tech, void forged for hulls like this. Torch bit deep. Mara covered him, rifle sweeping the gap. Scopes pinged. Keth's main guns charging. Cruiser macro burn closing. Iriel's hide tapped urgent. 1 short. Mara glanced back. Panel vibrated faint. Princess signaling perfect. Enemy inbound. Fast! Mara urged. Torch popped through. The horn peeled the cut wide. Clear. They spilled into the corvette's engineering bay. Steam vented hot. Conduits sparked. 2 raiders spun from a console. Mara dropped one with a burst. Darun's pistol vaporized the other's leg. Queen stayed in the shuttle, guarding Iriel's hide. Smart royals didn't board. Deeper alarms blared. Keth's voice boomed internal. Kincaid, you trespass my claim. Mara ignored. She sliced the corvette's nav console, uploading rally beacon. They were on fleet inbound. Light minutes out, but closing. The Horin-rigged demo charges on the reactor. Flip. Complete. They chased their own shadow now. Grapples disengaged with a wrench. Shuttle lurched free. Mara hauled the stunned raider leader aboard as reverse thrust kicked. Evidence package. Delivered to gate. Iriel's panel cracked open as cabin repressurized. Princess tumbled out. Beacon clutched tight. She latched onto Mara's leg. Crest flaring trust blue. Signals worked. You came. Mara ruffled her frill. Brief, earned. You signaled clean. Partnership. Doran sealed hatches, eyes on Mara. Deeds stack higher. Humans make void kneel. Scopes cleared the corvette wreck. Charges bloomed silent fire. Keth's cruiser veered, guns dark. Rally point beacon pulsed strong, but fresh pings lit. 2 more corvettes fanning wide. Broker's hunt renewed. Timer reset. Mara punched engines. Leg 4. Hold tight. Iriel signaled 3 shorts. Ready all way. Queen nodded once, voice steady. Veyra binds this debt eternal. Darun grunted respect. Mara just checked her rifle. Routine. Warp date charged ahead. Keth's voice hacked again. No escape, Kincaid. Princess mine. She muted him. Reality folded. Sheer bucked hard. Exit spat them into Alliance space. Veyron dreadnoughts swelled on scopes. Flotilla shield. Guns trained outward. Keth's corvettes materialized seconds later. Too late. Veyran lances lit space. Broker's fleet shattered under precise fire. Mara eased throttle back. Shuttle coasted toward the Veyron dreadnought's gaping bay. Alarms blared. Hostile signatures neutralized, but guns stayed hot. Shuttle Kincaid. Transmit hostage code. Now. Thorin's voice crackled over comms, edged steel. Mara keyed the panel. Verified packet burst out. Iriel's beacon logs. Keth's ransom demands. Raider biometrics. Code transmitted. Princess secure aboard. Static hissed. Doran's tone shifted. Packet verified. Evidence stacks true. Border batteries. Stand down. Escort the human in. Relief flickered in Mara's chest. Gone fast. She scanned scopes. Veyran lances still smoldered Keth's corvettes into debris. Broker's voice cut silent forever. Iriel unstrapped. Frill quivering violet. Fear mixed hope. They listen to you. Evidence talks. Mara checked harnesses. Dahoran's shuttle formation locked on. Weapons cold, but locked. Armed escort. Standard. Princess nodded sharp. Her small claws gripped Mara's boot. Trust sealed in grip. Dreadnought's bay swallowed them. Magnets clamped hull. Airlock cycled green. Mara stood first, rifle slung low, non-threat. Stay behind me, Ariel. Last leg protocol. Dahoran squad sealed the ramp, 10 Vayrans in powered armor, crests flared red alert. Their commander strode forward, eyes locked on Mara. Staff Sergeant Kincaid. Yeah, deeds precede you. Follow. Mara nodded once. Kept Ariel tucked rear, squad flanked tight, boots echoing hangar steel. Distant cheers filtered through bulkheads. Veyra's fleet hummed alive. Hangar stretched vast, royal banners snapped in recycled air. Queen Salith waited at far end, throne guard arrayed. Her crest burned gold authority, but eyes pierced for her daughter. Mara walked steady. Ariel's breaths quickened behind. Squad halted 20 meters out. Dahurin raised a gauntlet. Princess cleared. Human. You deliver, not till safe. Mara scanned threats. None. Still, she held position. Ariel peeked past her leg, frill shifting blue trust. Queen stepped forward alone. Guard tensed but held. Salith's voice carried, resonant. The one who answered my daughter's call. Mara eased aside. Only then, Ariel bolted. Mother! They collided. Queen scooped her up. Frills entwining violet to gold, trust reborn. Ariel babbled fast. She flipped the raiders, blew the grapples. Signals worked perfect. Salith's gaze lifted over daughter's crest. Fixed on Mara, Staff Sergeant, Veyra owes you eternity. Mara slung rifle. Routine extract. Partnership closed. Doran grunted. Routine. Humans turn voids to checklists. Keth's fleet. Gone. No war today. Queen set Ariel down. Child tugged Mara's hand. Stay. See home? Mara crouched level. Mission end. You safe. Ariel's eyes narrowed. Sharp royal test. You checklists. Check this. She pressed beacon into Mara's palm. Warm metal. Etched royal seal. Earned. Chest tightened. Mara pocketed it. Salith extended a claw-tipped hand. Formal, Mara clasped. Four-fingered grip firm. Alien skin cool. Pulse strong. Veyra binds blood debt. Maim your boon. None needed. Mara released. Humble fact. Humans deliver. Doran's crest flared respect orange. Speeches fail. Outcomes bind. Join command deck. Broker's remnants scatter. Mara glanced scopes on wristlink. Pings faint. Keth survivors limped voidward. If it stacks deeds. Queen smiled faint. First crack in poise. It does. They moved as unit. Ariel latched Mara's free hand. Squad parted respectful. Hangar doors irised wide to corridors aglow. Command deck thrummed. Hollow displays swirled enemy tracks. Veyron officers snapped salutes to Salith. Darun waved Mara to tactics board. Kincaid's packet flagged 3 bolt holes. He tapped hollow. Broker's scout ships flickered red. Your call? Mara leaned in, scanned vectors cool. Flank gamma relay. Cut their warp. Officers murmured. Alien math danced fingers over boards. Veyron precision-locked paths. Doran nodded. Human instinct. Veyron fire. Execute. Launches bloomed on display. Mara watched hits land clean. Ariel perched beside, mimicking taps. Light your flips. Teamwork. Mara ruffled frill light. Salith observed, silent. Pride swelled her crest. Daughter learns from protector. Hours blurred. Last scout vaporized. Broker's web erased. Deck. Cleared cheers. Queen raised voice. Victory binds. Human Veyra names you shieldkin. Mara stood straight. Honor light. Wade right. Shield serves. Ariel hugged leg fierce. Stay forever? Not forever. Mara knelt. But calls answer. Doran clapped shoulder. Humans kneel voids. We learn. Banquet summoned. Corridors led to vaulted hall. Tables groaned crystal fruits. Spiced meats. Veyron fare sharp-scented. Mara sampled cautious. Heat bloomed tongue. Good burn. Ariel piled plate high. Try glow pearl. Signals like your codes. Mara bit. Sweet crunch exploded. Clear signal. Queen sat central. Talk flowed. Raids passed. Alliances forged. Salith leaned close. Keth prayed edges.
You centered storm. Checklists.
Mara shrugged. Action spoke, night cycled. Iriel yawned mid-story. Queen carried her off. Rest. Bright one. Shield watches. Alone with Doran. Alfoam clinked. Skeptical first meet. He admitted. Outcomes converted. Deed stack. Mara echoed. Dawn broke artificial. Shuttle prepped, Earth resupply pinged. Mara boarded last. Iriel ran ramp. Beacon duplicate thrust. Next signal. Partnership. All way. Queen embraced brief formal to family. Veyra calls, you answer. Eternal. Dehoran saluted. Fly true, Kincaid. Engines hummed. Bay sealed. Mara punched out. Veyran flotilla saluted Lancefire. Harmless bloom. Scopes cleared. Warp charged, but shadow pinged edge void. Single drone. Broker marked. Message burst. Princess touched. Det personal. Hunt resumes. Mara muted. Rifle checked. Routine reset. Iriel's signal pulsed pocket. Ready all way. One wrong call, and bonds tested fire. Queen Salith surged across the throne dais. Protocol shattered. She yanked Princess Iriel from Mara's side and crushed the child against her chest. Tears streamed down the queen's iridescent cheeks. Mara stared straight ahead. She pretended not to notice. The court gasped. Veyran nobles froze mid-bow, their multifaceted eyes wide. Captain Doran Vale tensed beside Mara, claws flexing. Iriel wriggled, then hugged back fierce. Mother. Ah. Salith's sob echoed in the vaulted hall. She rocked her daughter, spines quivering along her neck. Mara shifted weight, boots scuffed marble. She scanned exits. Habit. The queen released Iriel at last. She straightened, composure snapping back like a shield. Forgive the breach. Her voice rang clear. The storm has passed. Light returns. Courtiers murmured approval. Doran exhaled. Mara stayed silent. Deeds done. Words optional. Salith turned to Mara. Staff Sergeant Kincaid. Approach. Mara stepped forward. She knelt on one knee, right fist to heart. Human salute adapted. From her pocket, she drew the royal signet. Gold gleamed under crystal chandeliers. She held it up. Your seal, Majesty. Retrieved intact. Gasps rippled again. The signet. Stolen with the princess. Proof of Broker Keth's raid. Salith took it. Her fingers brushed Mara's glove. Warmth seeped through. Rise. You return more than metal. You return hope. Mara stood. Court attendants parted. A herald. Unrolled. A scroll. Title scrolled in Veyran script. Warden of the Vale. Blade of the Throne. Salith extended a quill. Accept. Champion of Veyra. Mara shook her head. No titles. Duty's enough. Whispers swelled. Darun leaned in. Humans refuse glory? Salith's eyes narrowed. Not anger. Assessment. Why decline? Checklists clear without crowns. Mara met her gaze. Serve best unburdened. The queen nodded slow. Wisdom in humility. She rolled the scroll. Attendants whisked it away. Iriel darted forward. Tiny hand grabbed Mara's. The princess tugged her down. Mara knelt again. Iriel pressed palm to Mara's chestplate. Bioluminescent patterns flared. Veyran oathmark. By light and void I name you champion guard. Mine. Court erupted. Cheers thundered. Lights pulsed in rhythm. Mara felt the mark tingle through armor, binding. Official now. Iriel beamed. Rise guard. Court sees. Mara rose. She squeezed the child's hand. All way, princess. Salith watched. Pride softened her spines. The young decide true. She gestured servers. Banquet. Honor the bond. Tables groaned under crystal fruits and spiced meats. Sharp scents hit Mara. Citrus bite. Smoke curl. She sampled cautious. Heat bloomed on tongue. Good burn. Iriel piled her plate. Glow pearl.
Tastes like your signals.
She popped one. Juice dribbled chin. Mara bit into another. Sweet crunch exploded. Clear signal. Dohuran sat across. He carved a flank steak. Steam rising. You knelt voids. We learn from that. His fork speared a morsel. Humans bend, but unbreakable. Outcomes matter. Mara chewed steady. Deeds stack. Talk flowed. Raids passed. Alliances forged. Salith leaned close over wine goblets. Keth prayed our edges. You centered the storm. Checklists. Mara shrugged. Fork paused. No brag. Fact. Iriel yawned mid-story. Eyes drooped. Salith scooped her up. Rest, bright one. Shield watches. She carried the princess off, Iriel's head lolling on shoulder. Hall quieted. Doran poured ale. Foam clinked mugs. Skeptical at first meet. He admitted. Outcomes converted. Mara sipped. Bitter tang cut the spice. Humans prove in fire. Dawn broke artificial. Shuttles hummed in bays. Earth resupply pinged Mara's comm. Routine turnover, but Salith summoned first. Private chamber. Hollow screens flickered accords. Human Veyron packed. Oh. She signed with flourish. Mara nodded. Solid. On request. Salith fixed her. Liaison. Assign me? Mara blinked. No checklist for that. Veyra needs your voids, Neil. The queen tapped the hollow. Iriel's champion guard. Stationed here. Or calls go both ways. Doran entered. Saluted. Flotilla ready. Escort yours. Mara processed. Duty shifted. Permanent. Close. Accept. Salith's spines relaxed. Eternal answer. Shuttle prepped. Mara boarded last. Ramp hissed. Iriel ran up. Beacon duplicate thrust into Mara's hand. Next signal. Partnership. Mara clipped it to suit. All way. Queen embraced brief. Formal turned family. Veyra calls. You answer. Doran clapped shoulder. Fly true, Kincaid. Engines hummed. Bay sealed. Mara punched coordinates. Scopes cleared. Warp charged. Shadow pinged edge void. Single drone. Broker marked. Message burst. Princess touched. Debt personal. Hunt resumes. Mara muted it. Rifle checked. Locks cycled smooth. Routine reset. Iriel's beacon pulsed in pocket. Steady. Ready all way. Warp engaged. Stars streaked. Hours blurred. Mara ran diagnostics. Fuel optimal. Shields green. Drone trailed faint. Ghost signature. Comm crackled. Dahoran's voice. Kincaid. Status. Clean jump. Mara. Tapped screens. Tail spotted. Keths. Silence. Then, flotilla vectors. Kinnit. Affirm. Mara plotted intercept. Human nav comp crunched angles aliens missed. Course locked. 15 mics. Drones closed. 2 more pinged. Broker swarm. Missiles hot. Mara rolled shuttle. Evasive juke. G-forces pinned her. Fox 3. Countermeasures spat chaff. Explosions lit void. Debris scattered. Lead drone locked. Mara fired point defense. Lasers carved hull. Wreckage vented. But 4th drone burrowed close. Hack probe lanced. Alarms wailed. Shields holding. Mara isolated systems. Fingers flew. Firewall slammed. Probe died. Dahoran's flotilla dropped warp. Fighters swarmed. We clean remnants. Mara vectored clear. Grateful. Debt paid forward. Not debt. Doran patched visual. His spines flared pride. Bond. Iriel's beacon warmed. Mara smiled faint. Trust stacked. Resupply station loomed. Docks clamped. Crew swarmed. Human techs. Efficient nods. Mara offloaded gear. Comm pinged. Silith. Safe? Affirm. Mara glanced drone wreckage on scopes. Hunt clipped. Good. Pause. Return soon. Iriel asks. Calls. Answer. Mara. Signed off. Quarters assigned. Bunk hard. Familiar. Beacon pulsed soft. Mara set it on locker. Partnership glowed, but broker Keth's net spanned sectors. 1 drone down. More lurked. Mara cleaned rifle. Chambered round. Routine. Night cycle dimmed lights. Sleep came quick. Dreams stirred. Iriel's hand in hers. Queen's tears unseen. Dawn pinged. New orders scrolled. Veyron envoy inbound. Liaison duty called. Mara geared up. Boots hit deck. Shadow whispered. Keth's voice echoed memory. Hunt resumes. She checked mags. Full. All way. Flotilla hailed. Doran. Joint op. Keth's lair pinned. Mara punched accept. Checklists sync. Led. You voids, Neil. His laugh barked. We follow. Engine spooled. Bonds tested fire. Warp jumped. Void swallowed them whole.